All right. So, I was hoping for some more people to log on here, at least to record it for themselves. But nonetheless, I appreciate you guys hopping on. This is going to be extremely beneficial for your midterm this upcoming week. The objective today is just to briefly kind of talk about some heavy hitting stuff that you'll definitely come across on the midterm and just try to tighten up any loose concepts that you may have as we come across them. And hopefully, you guys are pounding out that review that I provided just to help kind of service the yellow brick road, as you would, to kind of take the material and funnel it down and try to give you a navigational beacon as to what you need to be focusing on. So obviously, this is a comprehensive exam covering chapters 1 through 17. There's going to be a multiple choice component. There's going to be a EKG component and a med math component. The total questions are going to come to 200, 170 multiple choice, 15 EKG, and 15 med math. It's going to be a long test day, and it's going to be mentally draining, but that's like all comprehensive exams, right? They're meant to be strenuous. They're meant to test your ability to recall information that you may have covered months in the past, just to ensure that from a comprehensive standpoint you guys are progressing in the direction that you're supposed to. So just as a reminder, obviously, based upon holidays, Monday is July 4th. So I'm sure all of you would love to be out on the boats, boozing and enjoying family time. But you're going to be stuck inside on that joyous holiday, taking advantage of the extra day. And you're going to be cram sessioning for this written exam on Tuesday. I hope, because remember, this is a heavily weighted exam. This exam can completely change your trajectory for the course. It's a choke point, as you would. If you bomb this exam, unfortunately, it will drop your GPA to the point where it's mathematically impossible, even if you were to get hundreds on the rest of the module exams, to get your GPA up and above that 80 to make you able to sit for your finals. So this is crunch time. This is make it or break it. This is kind of that last big hurdle before we turn to the back nine, right? And this course slows down, on the back end of it. And trust me, I know you're exhausted. I know you guys are ready to take a break and kind of just let your brains settle down. But you've got to keep pushing right now. You got to push through this, because there will be some light at the end of the tunnel once you get through this midterm. Most of everybody got their work done for the week. I appreciate it. I know it's a lot to ask of you, in preparing for your midterm, to continue on learning new material. But as we said from day one, you picked an accelerated program, and this is kind of what goes hand in hand with an accelerated program. You're kind of double tasking here. So I appreciate your guys' due diligence with getting that work done. Brian, yeah, I'll give you permission to record. Absolutely, buddy. There you go. You should be able to record. Anybody who's not on a smartphone will have the ability to record. I am recording this. I'm going to try to get it up on a YouTube channel so everyone can have access to it. But nonetheless, you guys are here now, so I appreciate you showing out. Yeah, I gave you access, buddy. So, all right, just to kind of just touch on the smaller portions of the exam, let's just talk about med math and EKGs. And we're not going to spend much time here because this is a very small portion of the exam. And I got to be honest, it's very easy to me. These med math questions are far easier than that last med math assignment I gave you. There's no stump to chump. This is just going to test your basic ability to figure out concentrations, figure out how much mLs per hour or mLs over per minute, and how many drops per minute. That's pretty much it. It'll be very, very, very basic. So let's pull up here. Remember, guys, your master formula. So your desired dose times your weight in kilograms times your drop set divided by your concentration times time. So just a couple things here. Your desired dose, right? Your desired dose is what you're being asked to administer. Your desired dose can come in a weight of a medication. So for an example, I need you to give 5 micrograms per kilogram per minute, right? Dan, I think I gave you access to, let me just make sure here. Oh, there you go, Dan. You got access now to record.
Thank you.
But guys, by all means, like when I'm sharing screens, I don't see the chat stuff pop up. I have to go look for it. So if you've got a question, a concern, or something you need to bring to my attention, just unmute your mic and please chime in. So your desired dose can come in the form of, hey, I need you to give 5 micrograms per kilogram per minute, right? And your desired dose would be that 5 micrograms over that 1 minute. And we'd have to consider kilograms because it's a weight-based desired dose. Your desired dose can also be volume over time. Hey, I need you to give 2 liters over 1 hour. You know what I mean? Your desired dose can be either or. So for an example, I want you to give 2 grams of magnesium sulfate and I mix the magnesium sulfate into a 100 ml bag. Well, for this particular example, I can use the 2 grams as my desired dose, or because I have to give all 100 mLs to give the 2 grams, my 100 mLs can be my desired dose. So you have to have the ability to kind of look at what your orders are and decipher, where to plug and play, okay? Your weight always going to be in kilograms. Remember, when finding weight, you're going to divide the weight by 2.2, and you're going to follow the basic rules of rounding, okay, to get your kilograms. And your drop set, okay, you're either going to be using a 10 drop, a 15 drop, or a 60 drop set, right? 10 and 15 is your macro, 60 is your micro. That's going to be identified in your orders, right, or in the question. And remember, your drop set, it's always drops per minute, right? Drops per minute. And that correlates to your time. Your time always has to be in minutes. So for an example, if I asked you to give me, I need you to give 1 liter over an hour. Well, your drop set is going to find drops per minute or mLs per minute. So your time, rather than 1 hour being 1, it's going to be 60, right? 60 minutes or in an hour. You've got to make sure you match up, right? Drops is drops per minute, so time is always in the form of minutes, okay? Your desired dose and your concentration, they got to match up too. If your desired dose is in milligrams, your concentration should be found in how many milligrams per ml, right? If your desired dose is in micrograms, you need to convert your concentration to micrograms per ml, right? We want them to be mirrored. We want them to be in the same unit of measurement. You guys understand what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, let me give you guys a real quick practice problem here. I'll give you a minute or so to kind of solve it. Keep it limited to basic calculator, right? Just as you would on the exam. All right, so let's see here. I want you, let's just start with a basic dopamine question, right? So I want you to give 10 micrograms per kilogram per minute of dopamine to a patient who weighs 190 pounds. And you've mixed 400 milligrams of dopamine into a 250 bag, and you're going to use a 60 drop set. How many drops per minute to yield 10 mics per kilogram per minute? All right, so for plug and play, you guys should have come something close to this, right? 10 mics per minute times an 86 kilo patient times a micro drip set, so 60 drop set over the concentration, which would be 1600 micrograms per ml times 1 minute. Okay. And then we're just going to do out the basic math, right? So then we've got, let's see here, 10 times 86 times 60. So we get 51,600 divided by 1600. And then we get 36 drops per minute. Everybody good with that? That is just a very, very basic, right? Utilizing all of the components of your master formula and obtaining 36 drops per minute. Now let's just real quick talk about the street method just to kind of confirm our answer, right? So let's see here. I had a 190-pound patient. I wanted to give 10 mics per minute. So what I'll do is I'll drop the last number, which is a 0. I'll subtract 3, and that gives me 16, right? And that would be 16 drops per minute, which would be my 5 mic per kilo per minute. And since I asked for 10 mics, right? I'll double my 16 and right there at 36 drops per minute.
I got 32 drops.
You got 32 drops?
Yeah, 32.25.
Yeah, Tom, I got the same thing, 32.
You get 10 times 86 times 60?
Yeah, do your division again. I think because 16 times 2 is 32.
Oh, maybe I did my division wrong.
Okay, just making sure I didn't do something wrong.
Let's see here.
Good.
10 times 86. 860 times. Oh, there you go. 32.
Okay.
Now we're on it. But everyone follow along with the street method as well?
Yes, sir.
Good. Let's do. All right, we'll do one more here. I want you to give, let's see. I want you to give 1 microgram per kilogram per hour of ketamine to a patient who weighs 160 pounds, and you have mixed your ketamine you've mixed 500 milligrams into a 500 ml bag. And you will use a 10 drop set.
You said 500 milligrams in a 500 milliliter bag.
That's correct.
Okay.
Blum, I logged in late, about half an hour. Is it way to go back and view the video when we're done?
I am recording it. Yes. All we've done so far, Ron, is just we went over a dopamine, which is right here, bud.
Okay. That's all we've done. That's all we've done.
Yep, correct.
All right. Thank you.
All right, so did everyone get this? 1 times 73 kilos times the 10 drop set over the concentration being 1 milligram, 1 ml times 60 minutes because I asked for over an hour. Everyone rocking and rolling with that? All right, so now we'll just do the math, right? So it should be with me so far?
Yep.
And then we get 12 drops. So the big key here was just recognizing the orders were for over an hour. So you, rather than putting 1 for your minute, you encompass the hour and you put 60. But all in all, you're essentially just figuring out, you know, how many drops per minute yields that desired dose over that hour. So hardest part is just making sure that we're plugging in the information appropriately. You know, the addition, you know, multiplication is easy. It's just making sure that you guys are putting the right information in the right spots. Remember, your master formula is always going to give you the volume per minute, right? Which is your drops per minute. It's always going to, your answers are always going to be in volume because that's how we give meds, in volume. Okay, and how that volume relates to the weight of the medication is by incorporating the concentration. All right. Do you guys have any questions with med math? Anything else in specific that you want me to go over?
During the test, we're not going to have these abnormal questions like, hey, you give 24 milligrams of Benadryl. You know, are we going to be straightforward with the, you know, the dosage, or is it going to be some obscure stuff like, hey, I need to give you 23 milligrams of Benadryl or something like that? Is it going to be that types of questions, or it can be pretty straightforward?
Well, let me ask you this, Ron. Regardless of what the orders are, can you not still plug it into the master formula and get an answer?
Yes.
So take that for what it is, right? I don't incorporate, you know, random, non-realistic dosing most often, but regardless, you know, it's just being able to utilize the master formula to determine what the volume is in relation to your desired dose. So no, there's not going to be, you know, it's not stump to chump.
Good. Okay.
All right, there's less than a minute, so I'm going to log off. I'll log back on. I'll allow you guys to record. I'll record this session as well. And then I just want to go real brief through some EKG stuff, and then we'll move into the written component, okay?